My go-to look nowadays is full-on pajamas. But as it is with everybody, when I was a kid, my parents used to make all of my clothing decisions for me. And oh boy, in my case, this meant cycling through whatever articles on kids' fashion my mom found in mom magazines. In my early days, I was a real dirt goblin, but this never stopped my mom from trying to dress me in cute dresses, with bows in my hair and all. We would go through these Victorian dressing routines while I tried to explain to her who Naruto was and how important it was for me to dress up like a ninja. But as these things usually went, when it was time to get out of the house, my perfect look used to last for exactly 10 seconds, before I started jumping on water puddles or wrestling some kid to the ground. My best friend at the time, Mandy, was also a fellow wildling, which I'm sure did not help my mom's efforts at all. Together, me and Mandy would run around, climb trees just because, and eat berries whenever we got hungry, so we didn't need to go back home for sustenance. Looking back, we were actual raccoons at heart. So once I started picking my own outfits, I really gave up on the whole well-planned look for good. I'd pick up whatever felt most comfy, and this is where the line between outside clothes and pajamas slowly started to become very, very blurry. It got to the point where, during my senior year, I would just hop out of bed at the last minute and go to school wearing a hoodie on top of whatever I had slept wearing. No biggie. I had mastered life at 16. And it was the exact same thing with haircuts. You can imagine how happy I was once I became a teenager and was finally able to make my own bad hair decisions. As far as I could remember, I had always gone to the same hair salon as my mom. We would always go together, and of course she and Miss Claudia, the nice hair lady, had become great friends throughout the years. I really liked it there too. Also, the fact that they always had treats for us kids might have helped shape my opinion a little bit. But going there with my mom meant that it didn't matter what haircut I asked for, or whatever reference I brought with me during the visit, I would always end up looking, well, exactly like my mom. But this doesn't mean I had a boring old time with my hair at all. Nowadays, my mom has settled down from all of her fashion scavenging, but oh, the hair trips we've taken. The one I remember the most was during the surf craze that blew through every coastal city in the early 2000s. That one led my mom and I to get some serious hair highlights, and maybe a bead bracelet or two. Thinking about it now, it was pretty cute being a mom and baby pair, and it was a great hit at family parties too. But when I turned 14, I really wanted to start doing my own thing. At the time, I had just started listening to this Japanese rock band, and I got so obsessed with their hairstyles that one day I decided to go by myself to the hair lady and do something about it. I brought with me some serious research on how to get the perfect J-Rock look for this first solo hair mission and dumped it all on Miss Claudia's front desk. Years later, I found out that on that day, she actually called my mom to make sure it was okay to follow the instructions of this lost child. And apparently, my mom said it was fine, letting me learn from my choices, I guess. And this is how I got my first school haircut, with red streaks and all. I was so proud of it at the time, even though I had completely failed to consider how much maintenance it takes to keep a stylized haircut looking good. After the first week or so, it just turned into a very intricate bird's nest. Anyway, no matter what, it was a success, and from that point on, most of my haircuts were straight up fan art. The highest point was when I really got into Kingdom Hearts and tried to get Aqua's haircut. Gravity did not agree with that one. At the end of the day, it all hangs on what kind of parents you have. In my case, my mom has always been this novelty queen, while my dad is a Star Trek fan. Which meant that on my little brother's turn, all he had to do was rock the Spock look until he hit 12.